We're here to give you the game so you don't get your shot blocked. We made the mistakes so you won't have to. Free game.
The doors closed and she lets out this scream that I'll never ever forget, and it just kind of broke me because you know what that pain sounds like.
I don't feel like people understand the trauma that comes with that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
People can be real critical in high intense situations in retrospect, and I put emphasis on retrospect because hindsight is 2020. But to be there and be in the midst of their turmoil, a lot of people have never lived in such a moment.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And unfortunately, with his passing, rest in heaven, Mott. I have had the pleasure of coming across him a few times, going out to SFA, and then also running into him at Toke Bar, where we actually had kind of got into some trouble, but we survived the night. You know what I'm saying? But definitely rest in heaven to him, and respects to his legacy. How did his passing affect the campus?
Well, so I think back then was a period of people had their cliques. That includes the Kappas and the Alphas and everybody in between. But for that moment though, I remember people like going out their way to like show love,
Yeah.
and that lasted for a while. And keep in mind, this was over the summertime and at the beginning of the summer. And so by the time we get back to college in the fall, like that's still like a thing. And so the fall that followed that was very somber. It was very somber, and we really couldn't believe what had transpired. But you had no choice to, because there was something missing from real life, and we were grappling with how to process that. How do we move forward? What does this mean for everybody? And so what it did was it brought the SFA community together. So what ends up happening is that these three dudes were local to Nacogdoches. Like they weren't college cats. They were like, I don't want to insult anybody, but around the way. And at that moment, it was SFA versus the locals, because y'all over here taking away our good people, and that's a problem. And so that's kind of how it brought us together as a black community at SFA. I don't think we'd ever been more bonded. And then the few bad actors over on this side created a divide between the campus and the community. But that's just kind of where we drew the line, and it took a while for that to sort of mend itself. But I thought for a while it was gonna get like bad. I thought it was gonna get bad, but it never reached that level.
And it's funny, I think that's kind of the way it is in every school. I feel like, being at Lamar, we experienced that as well. You know what I'm saying? Even though we was cool with a lot of people from Beaumont, a lot of the dudes from Beaumont was mad because, some of the Houston dudes had, Beaumont girls or Port Arthur girls, you know what I'm saying? So it caused a friction. But
Right.
Man, you definitely had a time at SFA from
Certainly.
The HEB stint, that was right before college. Then boom, you hit the BB gun situation, boom, you passed that. The unfortunate situation with Mike, rest his soul. Then you cross Alpha, you end up getting your master's. In the midst of that, you got the casino situation.
Right.
So after you graduate college and you got your master's, I know you graduated early. Did you know at that point what you wanted to be or where you wanted to go?